on the computer microphone. I had to switch it to the live mic.
You probably are in a dungeon.
Probably so.
No.
Yeah. You ain't been married that long. You still got a dungeon in your house.
Whatever.
2 kids later,
Probably so.
Jay ain't got no dungeon.
No, I still keep one on deck. I got a basement. I just tell them stay their ass out of the basement.
I hear you. I hear you.
I got some breaking news sports update.
Uh-oh.
Atlanta United just won.
We got one winning team down there.
Who's that? Who you talking about?
MLS.
Atlanta United won.
Oh my God. Travis, if you talk about soccer today, I'm telling you right now, I'm gonna climb through this computer and beat your ass.
Play the clock. Oh, you already know what it is, man. Boo and Jay, they coming through. Straight no chaser. Straight from the hip.
Straight from the hip, don't need no script, just need a microphone. My man Coach Boo gon' take you to the entertainment zone. They got the stats, the this and that to keep this show on point. And when we done, we have some fun and rock this funky joint. So if you will, sit back and chill, give us a chance to show ya. If one of y'all would like to call, we'll talk just like we know ya. We take control, then start the roll, and then there ain't no stopping. It's time to dip straight from the hip. Hey, y'all, let's get it poppin'.
That's what I'm talking about. That's good stuff, Jay. All right, everybody, welcome to Straight from the Hip. I'm your host, Coach Gerald Boo Mitchell, coming to you live from the Palace in Black Mania. Well, I love being in Black Mania. You know what? One show, that's all we're gonna talk about is Black Mania. The difference between Black Mania and you mortals down there on Earth. We're gonna talk about that one day. With me, of course, we also have Big Irv. What's going on, Irv? Talk to me.
Doing good, man. Ready for another week of excitement.
I hear you. That's what I'm talking about. And of course, we got Travis. What's going on, Travis? Just got back from doggone Arizona riding the donkey.
No, I never rode a donkey in Arizona. I didn't see the Grand Canyon though, but that was pretty cool. But yeah, doing good.
Well, tell me, help me out, because this is what's good about America. Where there's differences between black people and white people. I would never go to Arizona on vacation to see the Grand Canyon. But tell me what happened there. I mean, how long do you stand there and look at it?
We were there for a few hours.
So it's that much to see? And you guys stay for a few hours?
We didn't even see more than a quarter of it. You could be there and walk around the Grand Canyon for a week and probably still not see everything.
Wow.
Yeah.
But so there's everything to see though? What are you looking at? Rock formations?
Yeah, and how it was formed and how large it is and everything like that. It took us about 5 hours to get there. But yeah.
Okay. All right, well anyway, welcome back, Travis.
Hello.
All right, folks, we're gonna go ahead and get this thing started. The first thing we got to talk about, and I'm glad everybody's here. Hey, Mr. Butler, the Hoods are here. Miss Ham, hey, Miss Ham. Everybody's here. First thing I want to talk about, guys, is the whole social equality, whatever you want to call it, stuff that's going on right now. Because there's a big impact. Everybody says, well, this is a sports talk show. It is a sports talk show, but sports are involved. For instance, the big news of the week for sports was that the in Major League Baseball said they weren't going to do the All-Star game here because of the whole voting rights thing. So I want to get everybody's feedback on that. Starting with you, Irv. Tell me how you feel about that.
Well, it ain't the first time it happened. It did in North Carolina when I was there, when they had the issues with the transgender people. So, I mean, obviously, it's just a one-year thing, spur of the moment, because they're going to end up putting the All-Star game back in Atlanta again. But it just lets you know that there's too many people in this world that's making these decisions, except the right people.
Mm-hmm.
So, in the back of your mind, with Major League Baseball doing this, they're trying to point out the fact that they need to start putting some right people in these positions to make better decisions for what's going on. But to me, baseball is just about the money. So they feel like majority of the people is going to be okay with their decision to move it out of Atlanta for this year. But we all know maybe in 2 or 3 years it's going to be right back.
I agree. Travis, what you got?
Yeah, I actually heard about this when I was in Arizona. So when I first initially heard about it, I was pretty bummed, right? Living here in Atlanta, having the Major League All-Star Game and the Home Run Derby here would have been really cool. I would even looked into going to the Home Run Derby. That would have been awesome to go to. So initially, I was really bummed. Like, oh darn, that's something that would have been really cool for the city. Would have brought in millions and millions of dollars for the state and for the city itself. Would have helped a lot of people in terms of financially. At this important time of still in the COVID era. But you understand totally what their decision was and why they did it, and it definitely got eyes nationwide and worldwide on the issues that's going on here, and it got people talking, and it got hopefully it will get something to where it gets better. It stinks for now, right, in the short term, but in the long term, I think it was the right decision.
Well, and I think it was the right decision too, in light of the fact that there were a lot of Major League Baseball players who spoke out on it. I mean, you didn't necessarily see them, but that was a big part of them saying that they weren't going to do it, because the bottom line is there were a lot of people of color who would have made the All-Star teams, and they were upset about it and said they didn't want to do it. Came out today that or yesterday, I believe, that Will Smith had a $1.2 million or whatever. I'm sorry, I think it was $120 million movie that he was going to make here, and now he says he's not going to do it in Georgia because of him and Antoine Fuqua. If y'all know, they worked together on what was the little cowboy movie they did?
Not Wild Wild West, right?
No. I said,
whoa.
The Magnificent Seven. The Magnificent Seven.
Okay.
They worked together on that movie. And I'm telling you right now, that's a great movie if you haven't seen it. That's a great version if you haven't seen that movie. It has Chris Pratt and some other guys in there as well. But, I mean, to say that, I mean, that's a lot of money that's being taken away from Georgia. The thing that's so disappointing to me is when supposedly the leader of Georgia, the governor, gets up there and continues to defend and this and that, says people don't know what they're talking about. There's nothing wrong with these new rules and this and that and things of that nature. I mean, how long are you going to continue to say that? And more people, they even said the CEOs of Delta and some other Fortune 500 company stationed here in Atlanta have issued statements on it and spoke out about it and said they think that it's wrong and whatnot. I mean, at what point do you say, hey, we need to kind of see what's going on here? I mean, we need to at least reevaluate what we're doing. I mean, keep on saying it's okay and whatnot, and watch what happens to this state. I mean, at what point do you at least give in and say, we need to have some discussion about this? Okay, that's my take on it. Another thing that what do you guys think? Because they said at one time they were thought about not having the Masters and moving the Masters. I mean, how do you move the Masters from Augusta National? I mean, how tragic would that be? Do you guys think that there could be more impact as far as other entities like SEC championship game? What if they say, hey, we're not going to be in Atlanta this year either? I mean, do you guys envision that happening?
Maybe for like a year. I think they just want to do it. Well, money's involved. So, the Mercedes-Benz Stadium is a big moneymaker right now. So if they do it, it's probably going to be just for 1 year. And you definitely can't take the Masters out. Like, it wouldn't be the Masters if it's not in Augusta.
Right.
So I understand the viewpoint of how they want to do things, but if you're ultimately going to bring it back, then you're not really making an impact.
Yeah, and I agree. Hold on, Travis, before you go. Yep. I agree with what Ms. Peavy's saying here, because what I'm hearing from a lot of people is that we're making a big deal about not having an ID to vote. Guys, it's more than just about having an ID to vote. I know that's a part of the bill, and I don't have any problem with that part of the bill. I think you should have an ID to vote too. And I mean, anybody with common sense wouldn't mind having an ID to vote. There's a lot of other parts of that bill that people are neglecting to talk about that are very crippling, if you will, for lack of a better word, to minorities who, can't necessarily get there to the polls and things of that nature that's being taken away. So that's what everybody's talking about. I don't think anybody in their right mind would argue the fact that we think that we need to have an ID to vote. And I think everybody does. But, there are people out there who are just focusing on that part, and that's it. So I agree with you on that, Ms. Peavy. Go ahead, Travis. What do you think? Could there be more repercussions?
So to answer that, first question, you asked, do you think the SEC championship title game will move, right? I just don't think so. I think with the fact that we are in April and the SEC championship game is in December, right? How many times have we seen it where this is the issue right now, right? In this moment, but 6 months from now, when the SEC championship game is coming up, there could be a whole nother issue, maybe in a whole nother state or completely different. And they'll just be like, oh, we'll hope people don't, remember that. I think Major League Baseball did this to kind of save face because it is the issue right now in the moment. The Masters had their tournament, right? The Masters didn't even move. They had it this weekend. So they didn't even move. If the Masters didn't move, I don't see at this point in time, I don't see the SEC championship moving. I don't see the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl or the Chick-fil-A Peach Kickoff Classic or whatever that, first week series, thing is called, the official title of it. I don't see it moving at all because we all know in a month or two, unfortunately, something else is probably going to happen in the world, in sports, that's going to get the attention, and these big companies will just kind of hope that this goes away.
Well, Travis, I sure hope nothing happens. I mean, I think that's the disturbing part, is that despite everything that's happened, we've had riots, we've had all kind of stuff, we've had boycotts, we've had this and that, and I mean, it just doesn't stop. I mean, another young man gunned down, shot. Lady said she thought she was reaching for her taser and actually got her gun. And then what I learned today on TV is that lady is like a 16-year veteran. And on this particular event, she was actually training a new cop and trying to teach that cop, how to deal with things. I mean, how scary is that? The lady who made this crucial, critical mistake and actually killed somebody was training somebody else. I mean, dude, if just hearing that alone, if that doesn't just give you chill bumps, and I mean, here's the thing that I want people to understand. You go to the games, you want to see everybody play their best, basketball, football, soccer, whatever the case may be. Think about it if you are an African-American, a Black player in any sport, and one of the things that's always on your mind is, are my children okay? Are my children okay out there while I'm in here playing basketball? Because I can tell you right now, I don't know anybody Black who has children, or white who has children either, that are Black kids who don't worry about them constantly, because they know that just about at any time they could have some kind of interaction with the police, and then you just got to roll the dice on whether it's a good cop or a bad cop, or it's whether one of these 1 in a million, as they say. Oh, 1 in a million cops is bad, one bad apple. You got to worry about whether or not your child is involved in something with a bad apple, and that is a scary, scary thought. I'm just gonna tell you that, because my son and my daughter, both of them, dude, I mean, they're in that millennial group, and they're not trying to hear it. I can get pulled over, and I can put my hands on the steering wheel, and I don't mind if the guy talks down to me and degrades me and all that other stuff. I'm just trying to just be cool with it and all that. My son ain't trying to have it. My daughter they ain't trying to have any cop talk to them any kind of way and all that. And guys, I'm just telling you, it is scary to think about that. So I would just ask that people who don't have children of color understand the plight of the people who do, and understand that I'm totally understanding of why the things are going on and why people are choosing not to do things. And I'm gonna leave it at that. So in any event, Irv, what we got next? What you want to talk about? Give me something.
Well, we can kind of add to it. Well, let's talk about March Madness a little bit because we didn't get a chance to talk about it.
Yep.
I can't wait. Travis waiting on this.
So of course, a lot of things went on with March Madness. We had a couple coaches disappear as well, shall I say? But with Baylor putting the beat down on the undefeated Gonzaga squad, with on the women's side, with Arizona, who had a nice Final Four run, but got their little butts kicked by Stanford, But all in all, as coach had some issues with the tournament. How did you feel about the Final Four?
I'm gonna tell you this right now. The Final Four was great. Let me just say that to begin with. I thought the Final Four was great. I actually thought the semifinals were a whole lot better than the finals. Okay. Great contest. When Gonzaga last second shot, all that. I hate that people made it and built it up like it was all that and everything. I mean, guys, we've seen last second shots before, and this wasn't the greatest last second shot of all time. I've seen last second shots from the doggone key on the other end of the court that went in. I mean, that whole Danny Ferry Duke thing. No, I'm sorry, Christian Laettner.
Yeah.
When they threw the ball the distance of the court and he rocked and turned and shot, that was a better shot. A more difficult shot anyway than the shot this guy had the other day. So I'm not trying to hear that. And I'm also going to say this about the final game. How many people raised your hand if you knew after about 2 minutes in that game that somebody's about to get mollywopped? I mean, dude, it looked like two totally different speeds going on that court. And I mean, I sat there and I just started laughing. I mean, if my neighbors heard me, they would have called the loony bin to come put me in the straitjacket. Because I was like, there is no way in the hell Gonzaga's going to win this game today. I don't give a damn what was going to happen. Because I'm telling you right now, Baylor was moving at light speed, and Gonzaga was just looking like, it looked like the Harlem Globetrotters out there. I mean, versus the New Jersey General. That what it looked like. It was terrible. So that's my take on Travis. What you got?
Yeah, I really enjoyed both the men's and the women's Final Four. Men's first, yeah. Both the semifinal games were really, really good, but that title game was rotten. Yeah, but by about right here at 26-10 in the highlights, I pretty much stopped watching. I said, this game's over. Like this is done. I don't know if Gonzaga was overrated by that much, or maybe they just had a really bad game and Baylor had a really good game plan and showed out. And congratulations to them. But yeah, what an awful title game for a really good March Madness tournament as a whole, right? Like had some good games, a few buzzer beaters, a few overtime games, some upsets. Like you can't be mad at the men's March Madness. So that was the title game was kind of it was what it was, but as a whole it was really good. On the women's side, I did watch some of it. I was pretty bummed. Everyone that knows me is a South Carolina fan. We missed a layup with 1 second to go in the semifinals. Our best player is under the basket and just doesn't have enough time to make a bucket. I was screaming at the pool. You can ask Megan. I was cussing at the pool because we missed that shot. So that was heartbreaking. But congratulations to Stanford. Like they won it. That was actually a really good game too between them and Arizona. So you can't be mad that you got two, one really good game, and then as a tournament as a whole, and the men's side was really good. Yes, Coach.
Can I ask a question about the women's tournament? Is it just me, or has it always been that the women's tournament was after the men's tournament?
Yes.
Why this year did they play the women before the men? Because I listen, I had no idea the women's tournament was going on.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, I'm sitting watching ESPN, and they showing people cutting down the nest and all this other stuff. I said, oh, that must have been from last year. And then it comes across the screen, 2021. I'm like, what in the world happened? I had no idea that game was coming on Sunday night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who does that?
Well, the crazy thing is that if you watched any of the women's tournament, right, and the men's tournament started on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, right, and then but the women's started I believe Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and so that was their first two rounds. So they're behind the men's by a day, and then when they got to the Sweet 16, they were still behind the men's for a day, but then the Final Four started a day early. So the women's Final Four teams ended up getting 2 less days of rest than the men's Final Four teams did, just because they pushed the women's games ahead of the men. So that was really weird. The other thing I want to ask you, and maybe it's me, but I still don't understand why they play these games on a Monday night. Like, I would rather coach Sunday night. I would rather have the game be on a Sunday night than a Monday night, because think about like the people that are out west, like Gonzaga fans. That game started at 9 o'clock, which is 6 o'clock their time on a Monday night. Like, why not have the title game on Sunday? I just don't.
They didn't care. Them Gonzaga fans didn't care. They'd watch that game if it had been at noon. And I mean, they'd have called in sick. The whole city of Gonzaga, if there is such a thing, would have been. They'd have to shut the damn city down. So I don't think that's an issue there. But I'm just telling you this: I had no clue that women's game was even going on. Not that I would have watched it anyway, but I had no idea that it was going on. I'm gonna tell you that now. Let me say this too, and I'm talking to you, Travis, because I know you're gonna be one of them. Yeah. And Irv, you chime in too.
All right.
Why is it that everybody talking about this was the best tournament ever? Well, where did that come from?
Come on.
I mean, because all these scrub teams were beating all the good. Why, Travis? Why? I know that's where you are, Travis. This was the best one ever, wasn't it?
It's being forecast. It's being said as it's.
I didn't ask that. I want to know what you say.
Well, if Purdue lost, it's not the best one ever, right? So, but no, it was good. It was a good tournament. We had a lot of upsets, a lot of good games. So
a lot of upsets means it's a good tournament.
I'd rather have upsets and close games than a whole bunch of blowouts that no one cares about.
Okay, let me pause and go to Irv. I need to talk to somebody with a different opinion. Irv, talk to me, Irv. Come on now.
It's I forget the phrase, but when something new pops up, all of a sudden it has to be better. That's what it is.
I mean, I'm sitting there thinking back of Bird versus Magic, and all that
game.
I mean, you can even go as recent as Villanova, Carolina.
Exactly. That's my point. I went back that far to say I can think way back, and then I can think 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And I mean, the bottom line is that there have been some great tournaments. And I mean, for somebody to act like, because all these nobody games, I mean, I told you, I sat up there one night and watched 2 of the worst teams ever playing the doggone Sweet 16. And at halftime, the score was like 24-16 at half. I mean, it was brutal watching that game.
Defensive struggle.
Defensive struggle, my ass. I mean, they couldn't get the damn ball in the basket for shit. It was terrible. I've never seen worse basketball in my life.
Yeah, it was bad.
So I don't know why y'all want to go there with that, Travis. But like Irv said, You'll make up something. Let's talk about North Carolina. Also, I know Arizona lost their coach. The men's lost their coach because of the sanctions that are going to fall on them. But also, we had Roy Williams step down at North Carolina, and they got Hubert Davis in there now. Irving, you the basketball guy.
Yes, sir.
I'll let you boy. Tell me what you think about that.
Honestly, I like the Hubert Davis hire. He put in his time. Same situation with Patrick Ewing, Juwan Howard, and those guys. Juwan Howard, even though he was on the NBA roster, he was basically assistant coach. So he put in his time.
Yeah.
Hubert Davis has been an assistant in North Carolina for, I want to say like 10, 11 years now.
Yeah, he's been there for a minute. I thought I heard 8, but anyway, he's been around for a minute.
So, I do like the guys that, put in the time to get these coaching jobs. And, I think he'll do a good job. But, the last few years, North Carolina's name has not been a good recruiting pitch. So we'll see how he does, But honestly, I do like the Hubert Davis hire. I think, they like to get coaches from internal. So that was probably the best selection that they had out of the crop of former North Carolina guys that you can get.
I know I get tired of hiring a North Carolina guy. I get sick of that. I mean, I would like to see like Kelvin Sampson or somebody like that go over there and be a coach.
And honestly, I thought they was going to try to get Jerry Stackhouse from Vanderbilt.
Even I hear you, and I could have seen that too. But I mean, I'm not sold on Stackhouse as being a coach just yet myself. I mean, that's just me. I mean, and we'll talk about that in a little bit too when we talk about Eddie George. But I think a lot of times people are getting these folks to try to draw in the kids and draw in the coaches. Because, a lot of people say, well, Stackhouse is over there. They're trying to build something, trying to get something done. And then, they're able to also get very quality coaches. So it's not just Stackhouse. It's going to be some good coaching coming in there with you. So I think that's part of the allure of that. Travis, go ahead, Travis. Come on, tell me what you think about it.
No, I to be honest, I don't know too much about Hubie Davis. I know he was an assistant with Roy Williams, and he's got North Carolina ties. So they probably wanted to stick with someone that knows the system and, the alumni knows and this, that, and the other. So good for him. Hope it works out. It stinks that Roy Williams had to go, but he's been coaching for 30-something years. So, if it was his time to go, it was his time to go.
Let me ask you this. When you met Coach Davis, what did you think about it? Travis?
What? I've never met him. When
you met Coach Davis, what did you think about it?
I've never met him, so I don't know.
Well, you calling him Hubie, like you know him.
You had me for a second.
So I'm sitting up there thinking, well, Travis doesn't know him, he called him Hubie. Where did that come from? Call him that Hubie, like what? You know him or something. What?
Whatever.
Anyway,
Mom's jumping in.
Hey, moms, what's going on, moms?
Hey,
Jason.
Hey, Jason.
How you doing?
Good to see you.
Hi, Mom. How you doing?
Hey.
Jumping in nosy. He didn't knock nothing.
All right, we're gonna switch it all the way over now. We're gonna switch it all the way over to pro football. We're gonna have a little fun with pro football today. We know the draft is on the way. What day is the draft? It's like August, I'm gonna say April. I think it's April 29th. Is that correct?
April 29th, 28th, something like that.
Yeah, something like that. Somewhere around the end of April. We know it's the end of April. And my thing is this, and Jason's showing some highlights now. I need for y'all, because I know that, y'all know I'm here. But sometimes I miss the boat on something. So I need y'all to help me understand how 2 can equal 5 sometimes. Like Justin Fields. Because everybody's saying that Justin Fields is the second best quarterback in the draft behind Trevor Lawrence. But yet he's being forecasted as the 5th quarterback to be chosen in the draft. They're saying he's going to go all the way to number 11 and go to the Patriots, is what I'm hearing. Somebody help me with that, because I listen, I was an engineer. I know I took a lot of math classes, but I don't get the math of understanding. No, you're not getting Justin Field, people. People talking about Atlanta going to get Justin Field. God, I hope not. Hold on, man. Let me pray real quick. Lord, please to Atlanta and ruin his damn career. I'm sorry, not going to come. Lord, please don't let him come to Atlanta Falcons. Anyway, y'all tell me what you think about that, Irv. What you think about 2 being equal to 5?
Well, this happens every year. It's always the quarterback gets hit the hardest, and then as soon as the draft comes up, you'll get somebody with some weed issues. Then day 2 of the draft, you'll hear about so many people had issues in school. I mean, this is just the thing.
So they're gonna make a reason. They're making up reasons not to draft him. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. So you know, like they say, there's always hidden behind the doors talk between the teams that they're not going to draft a certain person. We're not even looking at this person, and then come to find out they're going to pick them 5th,
right,
8th, 9th. So I think they just filling these NFL.com, all these websites heads about what's really going to go on, and these guys, they did it with Mahomes.
That's true. You're right. You're right. Travis, I know. Travis, listen to me before I let you answer.
Uh-oh.
If the word Bengals comes out of your mouth, Jason, turn his mic off. You better say nothing about the Bengals. I don't want to hear nothing about Cincinnati. Go ahead, Travis.
Well, I wasn't going to talk about them. But I think what happens is you have, I don't know whose, list this is for the top 12 players, but that doesn't mean that is the list the Jets have or the Jaguars have, or that's not the list the 49ers have, right? Like each individual team makes their own individual list, and they may be high on one specific person for one specific reason, right? They may really like the arm talent of Mac Jones, and that's what they're looking for. They may like the decision-making of Trey Lance or, whatever person, and so that bumps them up on their board, and that's how, someone that most people think like a Justin Fields, and again, we don't know if he's going to fall. He may get taken at 2 or 3, right? Probably 3. But we don't know. But it could just be that one specific team, whatever one team is drafting at that, pick, may just like a specific player better than, what Mel Kiper and Todd McShay and these NFL, .com people do, and that's how they fall. And also, just because they say that the 49ers are going to take a quarterback and everyone projects them to take a quarterback, what happens if they change their mind? We're going to stick with Garoppolo and we're going to take Kyle Pitts because he's the best available player. We're going to take the offensive lineman Sewell, and then that just keeps dropping quarterbacks because then you got a quarterback that most people thought was going to be gone earlier in the draft. He's not, so that bumps somebody else down. So I think it's just a whole scenario that you just never know. And that's the beauty of draft night, because you can watch and read every mock draft in the world, but until it happens, you don't really know what a team really wants.
Well, let me say this, and I agree with you on this, Travis. I need for everybody to understand, Miss Peavy, Miss Hood, everybody on here, Mr. Butler, understand this. All these mock drafts and all this foolishness, that ain't nothing but entertainment. That's all it is. I mean, because at the end of the day, nobody gives a damn about that. I mean, there is not one NFL executive sitting up here listening to these mock drafts saying, "Hey, we might have something wrong. We might need to take Justin Fields because since they're saying he should go number 2." Nobody's doing that. Nobody's doing that in the least. It ain't changing anybody's mind whatsoever. I can promise you that. I mean, what people don't understand is that that's for your entertainment. That's for you to go and sit at the coffee tent in your office and then have a little coffee talk about it and say, well, hey, what do you think about Cartersville kid Trevor Lawrence going number 1 overall? Now he might go number 1 overall. Ain't no guarantee, but he might, and he probably will go number 1 overall. But after that, there ain't no telling. As teams like the Jets and teams like Cincinnati and teams like Cleveland have always shown you, you have no. They'll be like the number 2 pick going to the Cincinnati Bengals is Jim Dombrowski. You know, place kicker. Like, what in the world? I mean, it happens every single year where they take somebody out of nowhere and you have no idea why they're choosing this guy. And that's why I'm on this show right now to tell y'all that don't pay attention to that stuff. Don't pay any attention to all them football shows on ESPN. Look, what happened to now? Mock draft number 13? I mean, it is ridiculous. I can't believe people falling for that. Why are you going to watch mock draft number 13? I mean, dude, I mean, that just lets you know it ain't nothing but a bunch of old caca. That's where I feel about it.
It's one pick different than mock draft number 12.
Yeah. Dude, it's ridiculous. And
this
like I said, I grow old with I hate watching. I hate watching that kind of mess. So I will agree with you on that, Travis. Now, I want to have a little fun here by saying to you guys, tell me who you think some of the bad teams will choose. And by the bad teams, I'm going to say, like, I'm going to start with the number 1 bad team on my list right now, the Jets. Tell me who you think the Jets will pick for this year, first round in the draft.
I think they're going Lance.
You think they're going to go with Lance?
I think so. Wow. I don't agree with it. I think they're going there.
No.
What do you think, Travis?
I think they're going Zach Wilson.
You think they're going Zach Wilson?
Yeah.
I'm thinking that they might pick a lineman or something. I'm gonna say they're gonna
not after trading Darnold.
If that wouldn't be Jet-like, I mean, they always pick somebody out of nowhere that nobody's even heard of. And I can definitely see them picking a damn offensive lineman. That boy from USC that everybody's in love with, the big Samoan guy, who he won't get one pancake in the NFL. They show him out there. He's so much bigger than everybody else out there in the doggone Pac-12. And he out there bullying people around. Let me see him get a pancake on Aaron Donald. Or let me see him get a pancake on even what's the name? Miles or what's the name out there in Cleveland? Myles Garrett. Let me see him pancake somebody like that. And then I'll be ready to give him his props. But if y'all think that boy gonna come in the NFL and be pancaking people like he been doing out there in the doggone Pac-12, where they play damn flag football, and if they don't have the flag, they play two-hand touch, you crazy as hell if you think he's gonna do that in the doggone NFL when they ain't nothing but killers. I'm talking about bona fide. It's either you go to the NFL or you go to jail. That's the defensive linemen in the NFL. Those are their 2 options. Either make the team or go to prison. I mean, them jokers are certified gangsters. And I don't know how in the world you think that boy's going to be, but I can see them taking him. I can see them taking him number 2 overall. And even if they tried to take him to trade him, because they know somebody else wants, I can see them making a disaster of that pick. All right, let's go to the next worst team out there. Let's talk about the Atlanta Falcons. Now, this for you, Mr. Peavy. He said they're going to get Justin Fields. That's what Mr. Peavy says. Travis, I'll let you go first this time. Who would the Atlanta Falcons take?
I actually think Atlanta's the toughest team in the top 5. I think they're the toughest team to forecast. I think they could go a whole number of directions. I actually think that the Falcons are the team that hold the most cards in terms of what's going to happen past them. But if you had to say, who do I think they're going to pick right now at this moment, I can think they're going to trade the pick. But if they stay at 4, I think they'll take Kyle Pitts.
All right. What do you think, Herb?
I think they're going to flip it. I think they're getting Patrick Surtain.
You think they're going to take a DB?
I think so.
I could definitely see that. I'm going to tell you this right now.
See, I
don't think
they want to trade down 4 or 5 picks and then take Patrick Surtain. I think that's what I think that's what their goal is.
He might not be there. He might not be there. But I'm gonna tell you this. I'm gonna tell you this right now. I think they got all the faith in the world in Matty Ice.
I do too.
And I think they think he gonna be like Brady. So they think he's got another 8 years in him or whatever they think that he's got in him. And I don't think they're gonna go with a quarterback. And God knows they need to go with a quarterback. Oh my God, they need to go with a quarterback. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Dude, if you don't do something with Matt Ryan right now, like go ahead and get you a quarterback and trade his behind to some sucker out there. I guarantee Cincinnati will pick him up. Trade him to some sucker out there somewhere. It's a sucker out there somewhere that will take him, just like they took doggone the boy that was in Matt, what's the name in Michigan, Detroit.
Oh, Stafford.
Matthew Stafford, just like they took him, used, run over goods, but they say, hey, he got a few good years left in him. Just like they took Phillip Rivers last year, you'll find a sucker out there somewhere that will take Matt Ryan and give you something in return, and that's what they need to do. They need to get a quarterback, but they won't. They won't. If that big lineman's still available, they're going to get him.
I can see that.
I promise you.
I can see
if
that.
If that big lineman is available, they're going to get him at 4 if he's still there.
Absolutely see that, yeah.
I guarantee they will. I'm going to tell you right now, that's what's going to happen. All right, next up, we're going to talk about Travis's favorite team, Cincinnati. I mean, we already know it's going to be something stupid. But go ahead. What you think?
That's a tough one. I really don't know. I think they'll go O-lineman. They probably get the O-lineman out of Virginia Tech. They need to protect Burrow, basically.
Travis, what you got?
So initially, I've been on the Sewell train, basically from the time that I knew we would pick 5. I've said on this show, I want Penal Sewell, right?
He ain't gonna be there. He ain't gonna be there.
I think he might. I think the Falcons are the only team that could take him before us.
Yeah, they'll get him before y'all. You ain't gonna get him.
But we just paid 2 offensive tackles in the offseason. So why would we draft another offensive tackle? And we have a rookie that we drafted 2 years ago in the first round who's an offensive tackle. So
because you are the Cincinnati Bengals, that's why.
So I think offensive tackle is. I don't think we're going offensive tackle. So that leaves us with Kyle Pitts, get a young tight end for Joe Burrow, right? But we just signed 2 days ago Thaddeus Moss, who used to. I'm not saying he's any good, but I think they may try and go with that and see what happens. So my pick right now, if you had to say who they're going to take, I think they're going to go Jamar Chase. I think they're going to go with the LSU connection. They're going to take Jamar Chase, and then that way you have T. Higgins, Jamar Chase, and Tyler Boyd, 3 young wide receivers to go with your young quarterback, and you don't have to worry about wide receiver for the next 4 or 5 years. So I think they're going Chase.
Travis, you make it real easy because you talk about how dumb they are and a lot of these picks that they made. And I mean, they're going to do something really stupid, I promise you. I guarantee you. Now, they might go after a DB. They might go after a Surtain or whatever the case may be because that's who they are. I'm just telling you. I think that right now they're feeling pretty good about their offense. Like I said, they just picked up Thaddeus Moss or whoever the case may be. I think they might be feeling pretty good about the offense. And I'm telling you right now, getting another wide receiver, I mean, you want another diva on that team? I mean, you already got, that'll be 4 guys now you got to feed. And a lot of times you can't feed. Okay, well, I thought you meant Moss. Because Moss is a tight end, is he not?
Yeah, but I don't think he starts. I don't think Moss is going to be a starter.
Well, my point is that if you got 3 receivers and a tight end, that makes 4. And all them guys got the same contract that says you got to catch X amount of balls if you want to get this good money. So now everybody's wanting the ball so they can make those incentives and whatnot. And I don't think they want that. And I wouldn't want that if I was a receiver and whatnot. I wouldn't want them bringing in another receiver that's going to be wanting the ball like I want it. So the bottom line is that I don't think they go there. I think they'll do something stupid, and they'll either pick a linebacker, the number one linebacker, whoever that may be, or the number one defensive guy they think they can get. So whoever that is, I don't know who that is, but I think that might be what they'll go after, in my opinion.
Impressed, Travis. I was waiting for you to say the name Cincinnati Bengals so I could have muted you. So good job on not saying the words.
I hear you, Jay. I'm glad, Jay. I'm glad you got that. I'm glad you got that. All right, then let's talk about the last sorry team we'll talk about. There's plenty more out there, believe me. But let's go ahead and talk about Cleveland Browns. Because everybody's talking so much trash. Cleveland came so far this past year, and now they think they're just a piece away from cementing it where they're going to be a year-round good team, contender. Baker Mayfield finally got this stuff together, yada, yada, yada. Odell Beckham will be back, blah, blah, blah. Irv, give me the pick for Cleveland. Come on, Irv, give me one.
Oh, sorry. Hold on. My computer's acting stupid again. I think Cleveland is a tough one. That's a tough one. They are one piece away, but the question is what piece and what position?
Yep.
You got enough receivers, but I think Odell is out. You got some young DBs that played out of their mind. If they get Clowney, they got pass rushers. That's interesting. The only thing that I can see them getting maybe is linebacker.
Okay.
But they can slide back and get a linebacker.
I'm mad at you. He says a linebacker. Travis, what you think?
Yeah, I think they're in a really tough spot because they're mid-20s and they don't have a significantly pressing need per se. So I think they probably just go best player available. I think they'll get a D lineman. I think they'll do edge. I know they're in talks with Clowney, but even if they sign Clowney, I don't see them signing Clowney for more than a year. So maybe you get a defensive lineman, edge guy that can maybe learn under Garrett and Clowney for a year, and then you dump Clowney after one more year, and then bingo, he can match up with Garrett. But yeah, I'll go defensive lineman. But I think they're in a pretty good spot. They don't really have to go at a specific position. I think they're in a best player available scenario. It could be anybody other than basically a quarterback.
Well, the Cleveland Browns won the Super Bowl, right?
No.
Well, why'd you say they have no needs? You said they don't really have a need. I mean, if you didn't win the Super Bowl, you apparently got a need somewhere.
And I said defensive line.
Defensive line.
Yeah, defensive line.
I disagree with defensive line. I'm gonna tell you what they're gonna get. They're gonna get an offensive line. Watch, see what I tell you. They think they're gonna need to protect their little gift back there. Now that they love Baker like they're doing all that, and Baker's gonna be their new guy, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. They're gonna get an offensive line. But watch, see what I tell you. And what number are they picking, Travis?
They are, I just had it up. Give me 1 second. 26.
Oh, there won't be any good linemen left by then. But like I said, that's what they'll go for. Then when you picking 26, it's gonna be slim pickings anyway, because I don't think this is that deep of a draft. But like I said, it's gonna be slim pickings. Richard Hood said they need a tight end, Travis. What about tight end?
I don't think there's a good tight end until other than Kyle Pitts that's worth taking in the first round. So they may need a tight end, but there's nobody that's worth taking that's going to be there at 26 for a first round pick.
That's what you got a scouting department for, so they can look at it and tell you if there is some tight ends out there for you to look at. So that'll be interesting to see what they do there. All right, folks, we got 7 minutes left. Real quick, we're going to talk about the NBA. I wish Irv was here because Irv is the NBA expert. This is my whole thing. And just so y'all know, I don't know why. We talk about this stuff a lot, talk about this all the time. Oh, let's go ahead and go to the dunk. Let's talk about the dunk first. Is this the dunk of the year, Jason? I hope Jason got the dunk of the year. They're saying that this. Oh no, that wasn't no dunk of the year right there. Not that. Oh, that's Kyrie. We talking about Kyrie. Let's talk about Kyrie, because I know y'all know that we talk all the time and send messages back and forth to each other and all that. I don't know why, but Jason said a little while back that he thought Kyrie should be up for MVP.
Look here, you better stop that. You better stop putting that heat on my name. Goddamn well, I ain't saying no goddamn Kyrie. I was done with Kyrie after how he did my man LeBron, so it was a wrap on Kyrie for me. Kyrie can average 100 points in a season. He won't never be my MVP.
Anyway, Kyrie had been balling out. He been doing real well. I got high on Kyrie. I enjoy watching Kyrie. I'm like Stephen A. Kyrie is the ticket. People want to come see Kyrie because if you watch the stuff he's doing, it is fun. I mean, Kyrie is being like the real live Uncle Drew. I mean, he is out there just making people look stupid. And so I was getting all hyped on Kyrie. Then they played the Lakers the other day. No LeBron, no eyebrow, just a mundane, watered down Lakers. Of course, Kyrie lets somebody get under his skin, gets to fussing and fighting and all this other stuff, gets kicked out of the game. The Nets lose the game. And then after they lose the game, Kyrie announces that he's got to go take some kind of break and got a personal break. He's going to miss the game on Monday. Dude, I was just distraught.
You see what Tom put.
What'd he say?
Damn well Jason didn't say that. Weren't you the one that was buying his shoes?
Listen, I'm still going to tell you this, Tom. And Tom, don't you ever call me out again on my show. I'm going to tell you this. Those were the best looking shoes in that store at that time. It wasn't even close. And if I hadn't realized at the last minute when I was in line at the cash register that those were Kyrie's shoes, and I called Jason, and then I ain't gonna lie to you, I had a weak moment with Jason. I said, Jay, you don't understand. These shoes are gorgeous. I mean, of all the shoes in here, these are the ones. And Jason was like, well, go on and get the shoes in here. If you like them that much, go on and get the shoes. And I just couldn't do it. I just couldn't do it because they were Kyrie's. I couldn't do it. Irv, talk to me about Kyrie. You the basketball guy. Tell me about Kyrie. What you think?
What I missed a whole lot of it. We were talking about what happened on the court the other day.
About how he got kicked out and then told him he had to have some personal time and being Kyrie.
Well, the being kicked out of the game thing, I totally understood. It was a slight little background behind the other player calling him the N-word.
Yeah.
He said, you can't call me that. You don't know me that well enough to even use that around me. So I kind of understand that altercation. The time off thing, you might as well just get used to it. He's been doing that since forever.
Yeah.
Probably went to go see if the world was really flat. But Kyrie, I enjoy watching him as a player. But
I do too.
The guy just, you got to expect only 60 games out of him every year.
I'm telling you right now, there's nobody in the NBA, LeBron's ass included, Jason Allen, that I would rather watch play than Kyrie. Kyrie is magical. Jay, I hope this is the dunk. Listen.
Yeah, this is it right here.
We're going to talk about the dunks now. We need to know what is your number one dunk of the season. Because is this the newest one they had?
This is the newest one.
Yeah, this is the
newest one.
Not here. Here it comes.
Not this.
My God, here it comes. Yeah. Guys, I'm telling you right now, that's as nasty as it gets. And you'll be able to see it again here in a minute in slow motion. But that is nasty. That is as nasty as it gets right there.
Yeah, man. Now, best dunk of the year. It got some competition. Got some serious competition. One of
Here we
them
go,
is by the
Jason.
same player.
Jason rolling it back right here. Watch this right here. Watch this tomahawk. That is just nasty. That's nasty. Now, I agree. Guys, I'm going to tell you right now, I've kind of looked around and seen some things or whatever. Watch this. Watch this right here. I mean, whoever that is that he did that to, he just need to quit.
Yeah, it's done.
Number 15 need to quit for Atlanta.
Clint Capella.
Clint Capella just need to retire.
What we used to do when we played little pickup games and stuff like that happen, we just turned off the lights and left the gym. Game's over.
Yeah, that's it. That's a drop the mic right there.
Yeah, you don't need to say anymore.
They should just let Charlotte say, hey, Charlotte win. just leave it at that. Don't even matter what the score is. Just leave it at that. That was nasty.
I think Atlanta actually won that game.
Yeah.
I wouldn't doubt it. Well, folks, we are at 9 o'clock. It's time for us to get out of here. I know that I got to go to bed. I don't know about y'all. I've been grinding all day long. Jason, come on in here, Jason, so we can shut this show down. Yeah, I can watch that over and over again right there. I'm telling you that right now. I can watch that forever. Folks, listen, we are so glad that you guys were able to get in here. Jason found this new app that we got here that we're going to start using. I think he likes it a lot better, and that's all I need to hear. Because if he likes it a lot better, Jason's that guy. And we like it if Jason likes it. So we want to thank everybody for being here. Tom, I'm going to come see you this week. I need to pick a day, my birthday week, that we're going to see a movie. And I'm going to make y'all watch the movie I want to watch. So I don't want anybody trying to tell me what to watch. I mean, because Jason said he wanted to see Judas and the Black Messiah. So I'm going to get with Tom and see if my movie selection is going to be available. And then we might watch Cleopatra Jones and the Casino of Gold. Y'all don't know nothing about that. That's like the 1970s movie. I'm going to try and get something juicy for y'all to see. I'm going to try and get something, see something. Might watch Undercover Brother.
Hey,
one of the most
underrated
movies
you definitely know I'm
all
here for that.
time. Undercover Brother. That's a great movie for y'all to see. So I'm going to get something juicy. Miss Hood, Mr. Hood, Tom, I saw Miss Ham on here, Mr. Plummer, everybody. I'm going to let y'all see that. But anyway, folks, we got to get out of here. Always want to thank Big Irv, Lil Travis, Jam Master J. Guys, we appreciate y'all as always. So, why y'all showing Julio? Don't do that. We were having a great show. And now they got Julio highlights on here. I tell you what, roll them, Jay. All you Falcon fans, look while you can, baby. Look while you can. Because his ass, this is last year, I promise. I promise you this will be his last year. And won't nobody want his ass after this. I know Miss Hood is somewhere screaming, talking about, oh, my Julio. Lord have mercy. Good night, Miss Francis.
Straight from the hip. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next week.